Alright, so I'm talking about Harem and Labyrinth in another world, or something like that. These long titles are really getting on my nerves. Anyhow, the problem with this anime is that it's slightly boring to watch. I mean, there are some scenes that are very enjoyable, especially when the main character goes down on Roxanne. That's the blonde furry busty girl. I mean, it has some pretty amazing nudity and even sex scenes, which is very rare for anime. Well, more common as of late with interspecies reviewers and Peter Grunde Philosopher Time and of course Redo Filler. All reviews that I've already reviewed on my channel because they are instant classics in that regard. But being on the subject, it is nice to see Roxanne naked and her big bouncy boobs, like, that's good.
これからは部屋に入ったら勝手に座っていい。いや、なるべく俺の近くがいいな。近くに座ったからといって押し倒すようなことは。
That's a good part of the anime. The part that doesn't really hit with me is all the other aspects in between, like the world building, character development, or let's say lack of. And overall, the narrative is kind of lame and very static. It doesn't feel like they have an urgency to get something done, or a villain, or I don't know, something he has to accomplish, a goal, like become the Harem King, or releasing all the spirit girls with his kisses, or saving the Soul Society, whatever the fuck he might give to the main character. He doesn't have one. He doesn't have a goal. The first goal was to buy Roxanne. That's kind of like the whole purpose of the first half of the show, and then deal with bandits. The parts where he's actually in the labyrinth are fucking boring. When he's in the labyrinth it's just fighting, but way lamer than in Sword Art Online. So, I mean, it has a lot of war building, I guess, and some how do you say this, commentary or a bit of description of their items and capabilities they have in this weird gaming Danmachi world. It's not really clear it's an isekai. I mean, he was born here. I think, yeah, he was kind of stuck in a game world, but there's not much talked about his previous life, so I don't really consider isekai. I consider more like Danmachi, when the reality is basically shaped as a video game with levels and items and all kinds of medieval occupations we are so accustomed to in MMORPGs.
キャラクター再設定。これでよし。あとは。
So yeah, the main character looks a lot like the guy from Red or Filler, and well, he looks exactly like the guy from pretty much most Harem anime. So I mean, it's not like, it's definitely special, and he's very standard. At least he's not overpowered. He's still learning, and he's getting stronger. And the girl is indeed very useful, especially in combat.
ないのか。
ご主人様、今のニードルウッドで10匹目です。魔結晶の方。
That does indeed make the anime a bit more exciting. Kind of gives me the Rising of the Shield hero vibe, with the slight change that, whoa, he I watch it. He's actually fucking Roxanne, unlike Reptilia, not so much. Well, at the beginning she was not ready, but later on she's basically on his side and he's still not fucking her. Well, unless you're watching the Zero Rem cosplay OnlyFans vid. She left OnlyFans for some reason, Zero Rem, but she makes more videos than before. She even made Nazuna, which is great. By the way, Call of the Night is getting a new season. First season, fucking lame, just like the cat. Anyhow, back to this anime. As I was saying, Roxanne is hot. I mean, I can see why she's interesting. I mean, she has an amazing body, like big tits, and The thing is, I prefer cat girls instead of wolf girls or whatever furry she might be. The tail is not really like to my liking, it's very dog-like. As I said, maid cafe, cat girls, cat ears, unfriendly maid privative from Nikkei. That's what I'm looking for. And it's like, they have all this angle with this guy who sells slaves. And, I mean, it's an interesting premise, but it feels more like tacked on forced exposition to add more layers to this world when it's just a guy fucking around leveling up with a beautiful woman that he actually fucks at night. So the story is actually very simple. It's not it's not something to make like this whole arc out of. I wish the anime would have focused more on the silliness and... Sorry, I had to skip some parts of the anime. I wish they focused more on the silliness or more the interaction between characters. Like if you want to make more of a serious bloody anime about slave trade and all that, you can go Goblin Slayer. But even that show knew how to evidenciate the girls and make it more about the fan service, the interactions, and the epic fights they had. They had some pretty cool boss fights. Here, however, the first boss fight is a tree. And it's not like the One Piece guy tree, which fucking sucks and got beat up by Wi-Fi Haki from Shanks. It's more like just a fucking random tree. And even the tree from Berserk 2016 is more epic than the tree they fight here. So, as I said, there's not so much variation in enemies, which is also a bummer. They're mostly finding these generic looking bandits. I guess that's the problem. It lacks color, it lacks energy, and it lacks a certain vibe to keep me going. The only characters that are actually booming with charisma and they're attractive to look at, well, is Roxanne and, well, presumably the other girls he's gonna get in his harem. Because as of episode 7, he doesn't have a fucking harem. He only has one girl. So you gotta speed your game, bro. You gotta speed your game. You got no Game Boy. You gotta speed it up. You gotta get those bitches wet, man. Other guys do it faster. Like Hyper X Academy, that guy just groped and molested all 3 girls in the first episode. And even the High School DxD, he meets Rias, Akano, Asia, and Konako. I mean, just saying, bro.
触ってもいいか?
Or you know that House Springs, it's about spy on girls while they're undressing. Like, well, the scenes. I mean, we get a more mature, better aspects of a harem that most other shonen are lacking, in the fact that they're actually they're getting on, they're like slapping. But otherwise, it lacks the other color that Data Life has, or Love Rule. More interactions within the girl. It just focuses too much on this bullshit fighting bandits and all that garbage. Even Rid of Healer, which tried to add all these selling potions and doing things on the black market and being all this weird evil guy and some politics, even the anime realized from episode 4 or 5 that people here wanted to see people get fucked, so they focus on the girls getting their brains bashed out by the main character, so... That was good, that's why it's popular, that's why it's beloved, that's why it's a good idea. What the fuck? Yeah. But as of now, I mean, the first 7 episodes of the anime are just a drag. Episode 4 is good because it has the sex scenes. Episode 5 has some nudity and all that. Otherwise, it just feels so empty, so pale. Usually anime is full of color, like Konosuba or Sword Art Online. It's girls scream around, Sarah Kagura scream around, getting naked, grabbing each other. It lacks this type of color. It's more about this slave trade and killing bandits and bullshit. And it's kind of sad that it offers so much screen time to such a mundane, relatively boring aspect that should have been maybe the focus of one episode or two, and instead it just drags on like a lot. It's kind of a missed opportunity, right? I mean, as of now, I watched the whole show and there's no fucking shit. There's no fucking harem. I mean, there's another girl, Sherry, which is a lolly, Dips, that shows up at the very last two episodes after the main character gets his cock blown. I mean, and I'll be taking the top spot. I'll be working all day cause I'm the boss, yeah. Getting my cock blown all up in my penthouse. Yeah. Basically what happened. Basically what happens in the whole anime. I mean, it's kinda lacks the certain interactions between the girls and some comedy or some meaningful action, except for those mandatory fights with bandits and going to some other whatever section from the Labyrinth that nobody gives a fuck about. So yeah, I'm not so impressed with this anime. I mean, at least we get nudity and some sex scenes and Roxanne is hot, but it feels like one volume turned into a whole anime. Usually they take 4 volumes of a manga and turn it into a season. He feels like just like the first volume with the main girl and then the lolly second one. Yeah, just to put it in perspective. In Reserve Empire, he meets the first girl Mocha. Second episode, he meets Kurumi. Third episode, he meets Yukari. Fourth episode or fifth episode, Misery. And then in the 8th episode, he meets Ruby. I mean, it's a lot more bitches, a lot faster, and a lot more to the point. Here, sadly, it just drags on. And it's sad because it has potential. The sex scenes are great. Again, she blows him off. She does the Akano thing with his finger and then she blows him, so that's a big positive. Yeah. On that high note, I guess I'm gonna end my thoughts on this. I can end the review. It's pretty hard to like pinpoint. I give it a 7.2 out of 10. Sorry, it just bores me out sometimes, and even though the sex scenes are great, the story is very linear,